a box and it cannot go on any longer. Hang it up, flat screen. I would have dragged you regardless. Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I do want to apologize about the lighting. I am fighting with daylight and daylight is winning. I know, how can I be fighting the sun when literally it gets dark out at like 8 o'clock? It's because I'm filming this video at around 8 o'clock. I wanted to get a video up for you guys because I am going out of town this weekend and I just wanted to make sure you guys had some content to hold you over while I'm gone for a little bit. So here it is. I was going to make this a Patreon exclusive video, but I had other content I wanted to film for my Patreon. And I'm like, let me come to you guys with this because I haven't really talked about my YouTube like commentary, dramatary stuff in a while. So I'm like, let me come to you guys with this because it's actually not that drama. It's really not that drama focused simply because you guys are forcing me to sit on my floor and defend James Charles. Yes, I have to be the one to sit on my floor and defend James Charles. I have said this so many times. Don't have nothing personally against James Charles. James Charles hasn't done anything to me, and I don't think James Charles has done anything to the point of unforgiveness. Like, he just hasn't to me. Therefore, when I see people go out of their way to try to make James Charles' life miserable or go out of their way to make James Charles the villain in situations that he's not, it's bothersome to me because I'm just like, when does it become not that deep? When does it become you just picking on someone because it's easy to pick on? So that's been my take. I made videos about that. That's always been my take on James Charles. So James Charles hasn't really been doing much, and I've been saying that, and so I've left James Charles alone. But about a week and a half ago, I saw that James Charles responded to a tweet from Sebastian, and Sebastian also has a video about this if you want to like understand fully what has been happening. But in order for me to get into the James Charles situation, we have to understand a concept called queer baiting. Queer baiting is a thing that happens more often than you would think. It happens very prevalently in pop culture. You'll be surprised how many people like to queer bait their audience in order to get their audience to like them. So what is queer baiting? Have you ever seen a celebrity who a lot of their fans want them to be queer or want them to be gay or want them to be a lesbian? So instead of just coming out and saying what they are, who they like, they would rather be purposefully ambiguous about their sexuality in order for people to think that they can belong to any category. Now, this is different than just wanting people to mind their business. It's different than just saying nothing and wanting people to mind their business. There's a lot of people who just want people to mind their business, and that's why they don't say anything about their sexuality or who they're attracted to. But no, queer baiting comes in with these superstars or these celebrities when they like to say things that would have you to believe that they are something other than straight in order for people to keep the fantasy alive that they may like someone of their sex or they may be attracted to men or they may be attracted to women, and even if they're a man or a woman. That is what queer baiting is. Queer baiting is dropping little hints, dropping little baits to make your audience think you are queer, when in reality, you are not. Or you don't even ever plan on telling them if you are queer or not. You just are using this as a ploy to get your audience to like you. So, for example, let's say you are a superstar and you have a huge fan base of gay men and gay boys, because this is where it usually happens. It usually happens with male entertainers pretending to be gay or being ambiguously queer in order to get their fans to like still buy into the fact that they might be. So hear me out. you're a male singer, right? You're a male singer, and then all of a sudden you are very aware of what's going on in your fandom. So your online persona, because this really only happens online. So your online fans on Reddit, Tumblr, Twitter, and wherever the hell else have decided that you may or may not be gay. Like, we've never really heard you say you're only attracted to girls or you're not attracted to anyone. We've never heard you say that. And therefore, it starts off as low-key innocent. It starts off as this person just being aloof. This person as just being like, I'ma mind my business, y'all mind yours. That's how it always starts. It always starts off as this person just living their life and they don't want anyone to know about their sexuality. So because of that, fans do what fans do. They create their own narrative. That's how fan fiction comes in. That's just how fandoms work. You create your own narrative about the person that you like. It just happens. So in these narratives, a lot of times with the male superstar who never really has a girlfriend or is never outright about how he really likes girls, because we live in this world of hypersexuality. So if you like girls, you really like girls. So if they're kind of a superstar that doesn't really put their love for girls in every song, and their songs are really like, who's this about? Those are usually the people who get caught in the queer baiting scheme. So the fans come up with this narrative, and in this narrative, they decide that their favorite male star could be gay. He could like guys, right? Now, the fans created this themselves, and I know what you're saying. It's not his fault that the fans create this narrative, 100%. So he has one of two options. He can ignore it, just blatantly ignore the fact that his fans think he's gay and just let them believe what they want to believe. Or two, he can come out and either say he's gay, or he can come out and say he likes women, or he can come out and say he's bi. He can come out and say he's queer, or he can come out and say he's straight, right? Those are his two options. So to either come out and just say what his sexuality is, or two, just let these people play around and let them mind your business and you don't care nothing about it. Just let them be. To me, the best option is just letting people be. But that is not what the queer baiting artists do. They don't let it be. They play into it. They begin to play into the idea that these silly fans think that their sexuality is gay, even though they know good and well. Now, if you were actually queer, I don't know if you can queer bait. That's a conversation for another day. But let's talk about the fact that these male artists they are rarely queer. They are straight as a ruler, okay? They are rarely queer, okay? So this is what they do. They begin to start making songs where they're not using the pronoun she, her. They begin to start wearing more feminine clothes. They begin to start playing into the jokes that they like men. They begin to start playing with the idea that they would actually like date a man. They begin to start playing into this idea that they may be queer without actually saying it. And here, my friends, we have queer baiting. You are trying to get this community that just wants gay representation, this community that just wants someone to be like them. You're using that in order to gain an audience, in order to gain something interesting about yourself, in order to gain their acceptance. You're trying to lure them in with lies, in order to make them like you. That's what you're trying to do. When in reality, you don't like them. You never like them. You never will like them. This is what queer baiting is. That is a long story, and I hope it makes sense. But that's queer baiting. It's where you purposefully make your sexuality and who you're attracted to ambiguous in order to be able to fit into the molds that your fans create for you. That is what it is. So when you won't just outwardly say you like girls, even though the only people we've ever really seen you with is girls, but you want everyone to, oh, maybe I'm queer. You're not. Now, I'm not here to say who's who and who's what. And I've said no names. Actually, no names really even come to mind when I say this, but that's just exactly what it is. And I've seen it throughout. I've been in stan culture for so many people have tried to do this scheme, this queer baiting scheme. Let me pretend that I'm like kind of gay. I'm ambiguously gay in order to get a fan base. It's ugly, it's dated, it's tired, and it's really manipulative, honestly. It's quite manipulative to the gay community. So anyways, what does James Charles have anything to do with this? Because TikTok is disgusting. TikTok is where, there's some good on TikTok, but there's a whole lot of bad. So there is this trend where a bunch of white boys like to queer bait James Charles into responding to their DMs in order to then expose him to say that he like dates underage guys or he's going after straight guys. Now, we've had the conversation about James Charles possibly going after straight guys. That's what Tati's whole video about him was about, right? So they know that that's a sensitive subject, a subject that's not been proven correct, by the way. So it's already like you're really trying to take this man down on something that hasn't even been proven to be true. And so they're using that to get ammunition on him, leaving out the fact that they literally baited him into doing this. Now, this is actually the most common form of queer baiting because this actually happens all the time. If you went to a high school, a middle school, and there was a boy at your middle school, or a girl even, but it happens more of the time with gay men, gay boys. This has happened all the time. So you know someone at your like middle school or high school is gay, and all of a sudden the group of like mean straight guys will like bully him and act like they like him to like get a rise out of the gay guy and then just drop him to the ground like, why would I want you? Get off of me, bro. I don't want you. Not to mention the fact that for the past 2 months, you've been probably sending him all types of texts. Y'all are ha-haing and kikiing about how you're leading this gay boy on in order to get some weird thrill out of it, in order to like expose them. It's a bullying technique. Queer baiting in the real world is a bullying technique. It's a bullying technique to show that I have control over you. I have control over your sexuality. It's a weird thing. But that's what's happening to James Charles on TikTok, and it's so ugly. When I saw that Sebastian tweeted that out, that people were doing this on TikTok, I was highly disturbed by it because I couldn't believe that this type of stuff that literally happens in like schools, people would do on the internet and not see a problem with that. You don't see how you are blatantly bullying another human being because he's gay. This is what they do. This is what they do. So James Charles has a lot of viral videos of him dancing on TikTok. So they'll do a video about James Charles dancing or whatever, and James Charles will see it. So either they'll reach out to James Charles will reach out to them like, great video, seen the video, very innocent. James Charles has a whole empire. He's not going to do anything crazy to ruin his whole empire, right? So anyways, they will do, so he'll respond, and that's when the queer baiting comes in. Once James Charles responds or James Charles sends them a DM, that's when the queer baiting comes in. So these boys know they're not gay. They're like straight. They're just straight 17, 18, 19, whatever year old boys. And they'll start responding to James Charles as if they're attracted to James Charles, right? So they'll lie about their age, or they won't lie because maybe some of them are of age. And they'll lie about their age, and they'll like go into James Charles' DMs. And so they'll have a whole conversation back and forth with James Charles, making it seem as if they're attracted to James Charles. So James Charles, obviously just being a young guy, it's like, okay, like if you're attracted to me, I'll be attracted. We can see where this goes. Then all of a sudden, you will see a video come on TikTok of them exposing James Charles about how James Charles slid in their DMs and how I'm straight. I can't believe James Charles would slide in my DMs. I'm straight. I'm not gay. Why would he think I'm gay? I'm not gay. And I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, what did you gain? Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Leave him alone. I don't care. And then it gets so annoying because the video I saw, the boy was like, number one, I'm not gay, and number two, I'm 17 years old. So number one, you queer baited a gay guy into making him believe you were gay so that maybe you guys could actually have a fling or relationship. Who cares? And that's already bad. Then number two, you try to accuse James Charles of having relations with the underage boy, which is you, after you already, like, do you see the problem here? How it goes so much beyond your little funny jokes. I'm gonna see if James Charles likes me. It goes way further than that. That's disgusting. Y'all are disgusting. Like, and I'm sitting on my floor to say this because if I point out the bad, I gotta point out when bad gets done to James. That's terrible. But this happens so often in mundane life of most gay guys. This happens so often where a straight dude out of the thin blue sky, because his life is pointless and boring, decides to queer bait a gay guy into liking him in order to just drop him down on the ground because he's insecure. The queer baiter is insecure and a loser. It happens so often, and it's disgusting, and it sickens me to see it. When I saw that, I was quite disturbed. I'm like, what did you gain? It's quite ugly. It's quite ugly. So be on the lookout when you see people exposing gay men. Like, I went into such, because this happens so often. How many times, especially back in the day before like being gay was like widely accepted in like pop culture, or like even look at like sports. It happens all the time in sports. When a sports guy gets like someone tries to pull someone who does sports, who plays sports, an athlete. The word athlete got lost on me, you guys. So an athlete like gets pulled out of the closet because some guy exposes their DMs, and usually the guy is like straight. That's how a lot of athletes get like, oh, this person's gay because he was in my DM. Ignoring the fact that you like baited him into like showing you what his sexuality was. Ignoring that part. The fact that this man didn't want nothing to do with you till you came to his door. You came knocking at his door. And this is so common. And the baiters never get the bad end of the stick. No one ever looks at the baiters like what you did was wrong. No one ever talks about that. But they just talk about the fact that why is James Charles in this little boy DM, instead of talking about the fact that these people are preying on gay men. Anyways, that's the video. Who I'm here. I have to call out. I have to call it out. Anyways, I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye-bye.